Sup guys, welcome back to the channel, Too Easy Sports Betting. I'm Trice Too Easy. So we're going to review the week 4 slate for NFL. Then I'm going to show you guys some player props, my parlays, and then my top plays that I've already locked for week 4 that I've already put money on and bet, okay? So before I get into that, please, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. If you've been here, definitely give the video a thumbs up, guys. That shit helps me a lot. Leave a comment. That also helps me a lot. You guys always do a great job at that, so I appreciate the support. And if you guys want every play, every straight, every parlay, every Discord, no matter what, unless I'm half dead in the hospital, join the Patreon or the Discord. Links in the description, $10 a month. Okay, so first things first, because all my videos are sponsored by Outlier, we're going to start with the player props. So before I do this, guys, if you are in a state that does not allow betting, I have a sponsorship with Bet Any Sports. It is the #1 offshore sports book. You can do straights, you can do player props, you can do parlays. It's the best offshore book I've ever seen. So if you ban from sports books, if you're limited on sports books, or if you're in a state that doesn't allow you to and you got to go to a casino or use a bookie, go to the website. It's in the description of the video. Click the link. You guys, you'll be good to go. You can bet just like anybody with a recreational book. Tap into that. And this is Outlier. You need this to be successful sports betting. It's the best sports betting app there is. Okay, guys? So let's look at some player props before we do the slate review. And again, 7-day free trial in my description, $20 a month. Boom. Sam Darnold for the Vikings, under 31.5 pass attempts. Guys, he hasn't even came close to this technically. I mean, 28 is the closest he's came. Mind you, the Vikings basically had the ball the whole game in all 3 of these games. I mean, just dominating blowouts, except for the 49ers, but that game still felt like a blowout. I mean, they had the ball constantly. They were doing anything they wanted, and he still didn't come close to 31.5. So why this is at 31.5, I don't know, but I got this. I love this play, and I'm going to be locking it. Sam Darnold, under 20.5 completions. This is another one where in this game versus the Giants, they literally had the ball the whole fucking game, and he still didn't get 21. So I'm not sure in his next 2 games he had 17 completions. So I'm just confused by it. It really doesn't make sense to me, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lock these in, man. Let's get it. Next, Ty Chandler, rushing attempts, over 6.5. I mean, again, 100% hit rate this season, guys. 8, 10, and 7. He 10 rushes versus 49ers, 7 versus the Texans. And I don't see why he can't get the same amount of touches versus Green Bay. It should be just fine for him. I like this play as well. Matt Stafford, longest completion, over 34.5 yards. Versus the Bears, some coverage is bound to be blown. This should be a shootout. A lot of sharps that bettors that I respect are actually on the Rams. So because of that, I think, he's been killing this. 63 yards, 42 yards, 50 yards. They have a big catch almost every game. So it's a fair price for me. He's blown this out every game. Let's get it. Next, you got Zach Moss for the Bengals, rushing attempts, under 13.5. I don't know if I'll end up actually locking this, but he has not hit it yet this year. The problem is they're versus the Panthers, so I'm worried that the Bengals might go out of the gate, throw a couple touchdown passes, and just run the shit out of the ball on them. At which point he might get more than 14 rushing attempts. But this, on the flip side, the Bengals look so bad. Maybe the Panthers blow them out and he don't get that many carries. So this one is up to you guys, but I do like it. It does have a 100% hit rate this season and 90% over last 10. Which, if you look at these, all these have 90 or 100% over last 10 as well. Then lastly, you got Miles Sanders, under 36.5 rushing plus receiving yards. Has not came close. This is another one where if the Bengals defense does what it did last week, it's good luck. He probably blows this shit out. But I'm going to trust what's been going on. I hope that the Bengals perform how they should, and he hasn't came close to this yet. So 22, 25, and 30, I don't see why he'd get it this time. And Andy Dalton was throwing 2 receivers. So I think that these are some really good player props. I locked 5 of these. I'll show you guys at the end of the video. Anyways, let's get into the slate review. Okay, guys, there's a lot of games to go over, so let's just take it one at a time and get through this. All right, so first game, we got the Vikings and the Packers. Listen, I'm torn on this one because I like the Packers a lot. Baby Vic out there. I call him Baby Michael Vick. Malik Wallace out there doing his thing. I'm hearing rumors that Love might be back. I'm going to be honest. I'm worried for the Packers if Love does come back. Malik Willis fits their offense so much better. He is the type of quarterback that they need, and he opens that team up to that final threat that I don't feel Love was doing. Love can kind of move, but he ain't doing what Wallace is doing. Wallace brings that threat when they already have such a good O-line and so many good receivers and so many weapons, and now you got a quarterback who's moving like a motherfucker in there. The Packers look unbeatable with him out there. If Love comes back, I worry for them. I think Willis is genuinely the better option. But that said, and I think his running makes him damn near unstoppable. That said, I refuse to fade a 3-0 Vikings team. I just refuse. They have dominated everybody they've played versus. And there's no way I'm going to fade the 3-0 team who's an underdog. That's insane to me. So I'll be on the Vikings money line, Vikings plus 2.5, or the Vikings team total over 20.5 points. They've blown this line out, They've blown out all three of these, all three games. So why not, you know? Second game of the day, we got the Broncos and the Jets. So Bo Nix finally looked excellent last week, and I believe he carries that momentum into this week. Frankly, I'm not impressed by anything that I've seen the Jets do. They just don't impress me. I do worry about the Jets pass rush because, but that being said, I think Bo Nix, Bo Jax, Herschel Walker, I think he can get out of there with ease. And then on the other side, Aaron Rodgers' old ass can't get away from the Broncos pass rush. The Broncos defense has been deadly. Them boys look good on D. I don't see Aaron Rodgers being able to get away from the pressure. Broncos defense has consistently been solid, aside from their run defense, but I don't care if a run defense sucks versus spread this big. I mean, you got a fucking 7-point spread on here. I'd have to go with the Broncos plus 7.5. I get it. Yeah, the Broncos running defense specifically has been bad, but when you have a 7.5 point spread, that doesn't matter that much, because if they running, that's a good sign, because the clock's running the fuck out. And hopefully they can't run up that many points on you. So with a spread this, I mean, 7.5 is fucking nuts. I'd have to go. The Jets are not that damn good, man. The Broncos are a solid team. I think the Broncos are one of them teams who are going to be just upsetting week after week, causing issues on bets and parlays. But yeah, Broncos plus 7.5, or the Jets team total under 23.5 is where I would go. But these are just leans, guys. My top plays are at the end of the video. Saints and the Falcons. You guys know I love the Saints. Listen, the Saints are good. They destroyed the Cowboys. They fucking obliterated the Panthers. And mind you, I know the Panthers are playing. Let me rephrase. Destroyed the Cowboys, destroyed the Panthers, and then they played terrible last week, and they still almost beat them Eagles. It was still a damn close game, and that was the worst they've played. Like, they couldn't do anything right and still hung with the Eagles, who a lot of people think are top 5 in the league. So I on the flip end, I'm still not convinced on the Falcons. I don't trust them. I'm not sold. I don't understand the hype around them. I don't think they look great. I think the Saints bounce back this week. So give me the Saints at plus points. And mind you, they stomped the 49ers and the Texans with ease. So there's no world. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Scratch that. They did not stop the 49ers and the Texans with these. But what I'm trying to say is there's just no way that I think that the Saints should be the underdogs. The Vikings stomped the fucking 49ers and the Texans with these. But yeah, there's just absolutely no way I'm going to fade the Saints at plus 2.5 versus the Falcons, who I'm not sold on and don't believe in. There's just no way. So I'd be on Saints plus 2.5 or the over 41.5. I also like. I think this game could turn into a shootout. But this is going to be a determining week for me regarding them Saints, because they either pull it together here and they start doing their thing and we continue to see what they did the first two, or they play bad again and it's like, okay, it's time to reevaluate. Was in first 2 games just luck? You know what I mean? So we will see, but that's where I'll be at with this one. Next game, Eagles and the Buccaneers. Guys, this is a great spot for the Buccaneers. The Eagles suck. I really don't think they're that good. I think they are extremely overhyped, and I don't trust them. I put the Eagles in the same boat as the Falcons. Overhyped, I just don't trust them. On the other hand, the Bucs have consistently looked good. The biggest struggle that they have is the second that Baker says, "Hi," I mean, he just gets fucking pummeled by 2 or 3 guys who are big as fucking bears. Like, he calls hike and just sprints for his life. He gets hit constantly. I mean, they're back there just whooping his ass. And because of that, Mike Evans can't get involved in the game, and he's their best receiver. So he's not even able to be a part of any of the games, because the second he calls hike, he gets killed by a pass rush. So Baker can't get Evans involved. This is causing issues for the Bucs, but they're still winning games even with Baker getting killed by pass rush constantly. So why do I think this is a good spot for the Eagles? They're like the worst pass rush in the league. Eagles aren't rushing anybody. What they're doing is just sending 4 and just dropping back into some type of zone coverage. They're basically utilizing different zone variants and never blitzing. They're just sending four and chilling. So I think that this gives Baker time to pass the ball, and I think it gives time for Evans to get in the game and have a big day. So I'm expecting Evans to have a big day and Baker to have a big day. And if Baker gets time, I think it's game over for them boys. So Buccaneers +2 or the over 43.5 is where I'd have to lean. All right, guys. Next game, Bengals and the Panthers. I'm from Cincinnati, born and raised. Bengals are so bad that I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm completely hard fading this game. I think they trying to trap us. See, let me tell you something. One thing about us brothers, one thing we good at. If I know we have our flaws, but one thing us brothers are good at is sensing dangers. We can smell a trap from a mile away. They trying to trap us here. Oh, look, it's the Bengals -4.5 versus the bum ass Panthers. Take it, please, public, take it. And 90% of public is gonna take it. Trust me. That said, no way. No way, not me, Sway. I'm staying away from this. The Bengals are trash. They are now going to go versus a Panthers team who has to be on cloud nine after that last win. Confidence through the roof with Andy. Bengals are trash. I never should have been traded. Super nerd. Goaten. We call him Andy Goaten out here. We never wanted him to be traded. He's going to deal. He's going to deal. I think this is a complete trap, and I would highly advise anyone betting to avoid this. Don't put the Bengals in a parlay. Don't play this spread. I'm telling you, I've done this a long time. This is the most blatant trap I've ever seen. But no, not me. Stay away from that game. I'm just going to fade it because, I mean, yeah, obviously the Bengals could win, but this is a trap. I'm staying away from it. If anything, bet the Panthers on an underdog slip. Okay, next game, Jags and the Texans. This is another fade for me. Listen, this is the shortest description I have. Jags suck. Texans suck. I don't know who sucks worse. Next game, Steelers and the Colts. Okay, so on this one, I'll be on the Steelers -2.5 or the under 40.5 points. The Steelers defense is on pure cocaine. It's either cocaine or methamphetamine, but either way, these Steelers should at least be 10-point favorites. The Colts suck. Like, they fucking suck. And at some point, we got to accept that the Steelers might be top 3, if not top 2 in the league right now. I don't think anyone can beat them. They are playing harder, stronger, faster, smarter than any team they're versed. They're destroying teams. Nobody can move the ball. You literally cannot move the ball. You hike that goddamn ball and you just better sprint for your life. Whoever they're versed, you better get to running. You can't run, you can't pass, you can't breathe versus these Steelers, and the Colts fucking suck. There's nothing else to say on it. The Steelers is an absolute lock at -2.5. It's an easy play. Rams and the Bears. So Rams finally look decent versus 49ers. Won a game after getting beat by the Cardinals and the Lions. So Rams come out there, get their ass whooped by the Cardinals, ass whooped by the Lions. Mind you, those are two good teams. Then they lose to the 49ers. Okay, fine. Problem with this is, and why I think this might be a bit of a trap, and why I'm gonna lean towards the Bears is because the 49ers are not a top tier team anymore. That's the truth. They're not good. They look like an average team. Like, I'm not going to look at them and be like, oh, there's some slouches, but they are not what they once were. They don't look good. They're not playing good. They just really look bad every week. So that win that the Rams had over the 49ers should be taken with a grain of salt. And if you get rid of that win versus the 49ers, who are genuinely not a top tier team anymore, they don't look good. So I take that win with a grain of salt, and they barely won it, by the way. And the 49ers, again, are not good anymore. Now they're versus the Bears, coming off their best offensive showing this year. Williams had 300+ yards. They can't run, right? But the Rams give up 5 yards per carry anyways. So the Bears offense, I think, has a great week. Their defense is consistent and better. I think the Bears are the all-around better team in choice. So give me the Bears -3, Bears team total over 20.5, or I'd lean the under, okay? Commanders and Cardinals, a lot of fades coming up. I'll tell you guys why. Commanders and the Cardinals. To me, this game is just too hard to cap. On one hand, Jaden Williams looked fantastic versus the Bengals. And the Commanders' offense looked excellent as well. Problem is, the Bengals are awful. Top 5 worst teams in the league. I'm tired of even discussing past years. They suck. Joe sucks. Chase is trash. I'm from Cincinnati, so maybe I come off a little bit harsh because I've been disappointed by them my whole life. But let me just call it what it is. Bengals do not look good, and what that defense did was so beyond pathetic. I mean, they had absolutely no defense. It was just like blown coverage after blown coverage, every cornerback getting killed, every safety getting burnt. I mean, the Commanders, I'm pretty sure they scored every time they had the ball versus the defense last week. I mean, truthfully, the Bengals offense didn't even do bad. Joe Burrow had 3 touchdowns, 300 plus yards. I think, I mean, he did great. But what can, and no interceptions, and he still lost because the defense was that bad. So, yeah, the Commanders' offense finally looked good, but look at the defense they reversed. Now you reverse the Cardinals, who the defense is decent and their offense is good. The Cardinals look good all around. So to me, after seeing what Jaden Williams and the Commanders did to the Bengals, I need to see, is the Bengals defense just shit, or is the Commanders offense doing some things that is going to give opposing defenses trouble? So I'm going to sit back, watch this as a fan, and see what Jaden Williams does this week before I start putting any money in towards either of these teams. Okay, next game, Patriots and the 49ers. So, 49ers are in the same boat as the Bengals, if you ask me. I can't cap this. I'm not comfortable backing a team playing as bad as the 49ers are by 10 points. I don't know why people tend to live in the past so much when it comes to sports betting. Like for baseball this year, for instance, there were so many teams that just kept getting, like the Rangers just kept being favorites because of what they did the year before when they sucked all fucking year. We come out this year, 49ers keep showing us that they're trash week after week, and people, they're still getting priced like this. The Patriots have looked decent. They out there balling, they're competing. They look just as good as the 49ers, maybe slightly worse, if we're being completely honest. If you give me these two teams right now, I'm not going to go 49ers way up here and Patriots here. I'm going to do it like this. 49ers slightly above the Pats. So I don't live in the past. I go off what my eyes do tell me because they don't lie to me and what I've seen. 49ers are shit. Patriots have put together some decent starts and games, beating the Bengals. They barely lost to the Seahawks by a field goal, and then they had to collapse versus the Jets. I can't call it, but there's no chance in hell you back a 49ers team playing this bad by 10 versus a Patriots team who has looked decent and was competing with the Seahawks and the Bengals. There's no way. You do not back the 49ers by 10 points here. It's a full fade for me. Next game, Chiefs and the Chargers. So Chargers look god-awful versus Pittsburgh. But again, the Steelers, possibly the top 3 teams in the league, if not 2, okay? Chiefs have not been that impressive, and Mahomes has 4 interceptions thrown, and Kelsey has been irrelevant. A lot of people are going to use this as a reason to get towards the Chiefs or to get towards the Chargers. Oh, but Mahomes has been throwing interceptions and Kelsey hasn't been involved, and the Chiefs don't look that great, and they haven't had that many offensive yada, yada, yada. Guys, listen, I need to explain something to you. When pressure has been on, or when the Chiefs have been in tight situations or third down or games got kind of close, Mahomes defaults back to Kelsey. What's happened is their schedule has been relatively easy. They haven't had much competition, so they're trying out the offense, trying to get the timings right with some of the newer receivers, some of the lesser receivers. They're working on. That's why he has some picks. That's why he's made some questionable decisions. That's why Kelsey hasn't got the ball. He doesn't need to. They are locked in. You don't need to get reps with him. You don't need to get experience in game with him. When things have gotten close, though, Mahomes instantly remembers Kelsey's alive. Okay, trust me. If things get tight or they decide like, okay, let's flip the switch, I don't think we've even seen, I think we've seen about 75% of the Chiefs' true potential, because I just think they're still trying to run different plays, get other players involved, and find out where they can be even better than they know they can be, if that makes sense. So basically they're holding back. They're not defaulting to what they know works because they've had a very easy schedule and they have room to try to get other things involved and form a offense that's more diverse than Mahomes, Kelsey, and a couple others, right? They're trying everything to see what works and what doesn't. That's it. It's that simple. Trust me. It's not that Mahomes sucks in his throwing picks. It's not that Kelsey's not involved. It's that they're trying other things right now because their schedule's so easy. You don't trust me, guys. It's not a Charger spot. The Chiefs, if they want to win, they'll fucking win. No way I'm betting it. I'm gonna stay away from it because I think the Chiefs are just in trial and error mode right now and having fun with an easy schedule. I'm not gonna do it. I think the Chiefs will want to win this game. I think you guys will see that Kelsey gets more involved in this game if it's even relatively competitive. Chiefs win. Don't go on the Cardinals. That's my personal advice. I'm staying away from it. It's a fade for me. Browns and the Raiders. Two bad teams. This is another fade. You got two bad teams here. The Browns suck. The Raiders suck. Nothing impressive really to say about either of them. Cleveland is almost as disappointed up north, and Cleveland is almost as disappointed as us down here in Cincinnati. Only thing is, at least the Cleveland has the Guardians, so a lot of people think they might win the World Series. So at least they got something. I mean, hell, we got the Reds and the Bengals. We've been disappointed our whole life. Browns should win, but I'm just going to watch it. I think it's interesting. I want to see what happens, but I can't call it with either of these two bad teams. I'm just going to watch. Last game is Bills and the Ravens. I cannot believe the Ravens are favored. Again, guys, so many people live in the past for too long, and then you lose so much money living in what you saw last year and not focusing on what you've seen this year. The Ravens don't look good. They're so fucking good. They don't look good. They're not winning. I understand they looked okay last game, but no. These Bills look dominant. They look unbelievable. There's no way you don't back them. Your eyes don't lie. What have you seen? Ravens look bad. They've looked so bad. In fact, I actually thought they would lose last week versus the Cowboys. And they were up like 14 points at half. I was like, oh my God, they about to lose. I can feel it. They're about to lose. Like, they looked like they wanted to lose that damn game. And the Cowboys suck. Baltimore's offense, it's excellent. I mean, they're not struggling there necessarily. Turnovers, mistakes, penalties, the usual shit. But their defense, but as good as their offense is, so is the Bills' defense. So that doesn't mean anything to me. Ravens' defense sucks, and I don't care about the runs defense because the Bills are going to shoot it out. So I just think the Bills win. There's no way they should be dogs. This is an easy lock. It's not a trap. It's just people living and people really love the Ravens and really love Lamar. And I do too. I'm huge fans. They're fun to watch, but there's no way you don't back the Bills here, guys. You're getting possibly the best. You have the Chiefs, you have the Bills, and you have the Steelers. That's my opinion right now on the top three in the league. There's no way you get a top three team at plus 2.5 versus Ravens, who are mid-tier until they figure some things out and you don't take it. So that's where I'm at for the slate review, guys. Here's a parlay that I like. There it is. I'm about to say, did I put it up? Vikings, underdog, Saints, underdog, Bills, underdog. Plus 10-14. This is the safest underdog pick I've ever seen. The Saints win, the Vikings win, the Bills. When you got three dominant teams who have looked great and are versus some bums, this is such an easy. I love this play. So far I haven't cooked up all of them, but I'm definitely playing this one. And again, Discord, Patreon, because I will probably end up adding another 10-20 plays for my Sunday slate. Anyways, guys, here's my actual top plays. If I can pull it up. Fuck it, I gotta do it on this screen. Okay, so here's my actual plays that I've already bet. I took the Vikings plus 2.5 at plus 100. The Vikings team total over 20.5. Took Darnold under 31.5 passing attempts and under 20.5 completions. And I took Ty Chandler over 6.5 rushing attempts. Saints and Falcons, I took the Saints plus 2.5 and the Saints team total over 19.5. Bengals and Panthers, I took Miles Sanders under 36.5 rushing and receiving yards. Steelers and the Colts, easy. Steelers minus 2.5 at minus 115. I got Matt Stafford longest completion over 34.5 at minus 120. And I took the Bills plus 2.5 at minus 105 versus the Ravens. Those are all my plays so far. Again, I will probably be putting out 3 to 5 more parlays and probably 10 to 15 more player props throughout for the next couple days. If you want those, Discord or Patreon, $10 a month, guys. You'll get everything, and it's a dope community anyways. All right, that's the full slate review. Hope you guys enjoy. It's going to be a great week 4. Let's get out here. Let's get this bag, get locked in, get dialed, lock all your picks in. Let's get a fucking bag and crack these folks.